Nick Rekieta defamed me last night. Accused me of federal crimes, actually. As if he knows the law. I'll go ahead and, you know what? We'll have a conversation here if you want. I said I went to Colombia and, you know, the term slut, whore, that's a nebulous term, right? And I said, well, I banged some whores in Colombia. Now, I didn't say, first off, 18 and up only. Ever. Never, ever. So, second off, I didn't pay them. So that's totally legal. Second off, had I actually paid them, that would also be legal. Because it's not against the law for an American to travel to a country where prostitution is legal and to engage in prostitution. And he cited statutes that implied, they didn't imply, that's what the statute fucking says, that if you go to a country and fuck underage girls, it doesn't matter where in the world that happens. If you're an American, they can put you in prison for 30 fucking years. And he cited those statutes for a reason. He defamed me, in my opinion. Now, is it worth? Of course not. Like, I mean, he's got money, but like a defamation case is notoriously hard to win in the first place. And he also said it, I'll give him a little bit of credit. He said in a semi, he's like, he should check these statutes out. Well, and before I play this segment, I'll say what I said again at the end of the show last night. I did go on Twitter and say, well, you want to pile around with people trying to take my kids away? Okay, well, maybe somebody else's kids need to be taken away. Now, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. I don't apologize to him. I apologize to you because I don't feel like that. I even, you know, the beef's probably never going to get settled at this point. But Rekieta is boring. He's always been boring. He's not funny. He thinks he's funny. I know I'm funny. And he thinks he's better than everybody else. That's his real problem. He thinks he's better than me. Well, you're not. And he's a mediocre, to be kind, shit lawyer, actually, who conned a bunch of people into thinking he was some legal expert. Well, I know the law better than he does. And I went and read, I knew what statutes those were already because like I already knew what he was trying to allude to. Well, you know what? Subpoena my DMs. Because they won't hurt me. And if you think the feds give a fuck about me going to Colombia and fucking bitches who were over 18 who I did not pay money to, that's not against the law. So I'm pretty sure I came on this show and told you guys about it, right? Like, so I don't think it's a big secret that I went to Colombia to fuck bitches, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Do that. And I got a funny feeling you're working with a coin merchant at this point, and I hope that's true because that would be like the dumbest thing ever. And I already said this yesterday, but Mersh repeating hearsay and all these talking points, that was obviously fed to him by someone smarter than him, Nick Rekieta. This is not necessarily a compliment to say you're smarter than Mersh, but he's talented at being a cuck and feeding his children coke. You know what? I defended him on that forever because I still, you know what? I could lie. I think I even said this last night. Even on Twitter, I was like, I always thought that test was BS, but now I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure now. Because you've lied to me about several different things, and I've talked to several different people. Nick Rekieta has lost his fucking mind, and he sees Aaron M. Holt every time he looks into the eyes of Kayla Rekieta. Every time he looks at his wife, he thinks about Aaron M. Holt coming inside of her. That's what he thinks. And that must be hard. It must be tough. I'm not going to lie. That's, that's a hard life. But, either get rid of the bitch or get over it. One or the other. And he can't get over it. And we'll go into this clip. I already watched it. I usually don't pre-watch stuff. But I watched it and I was like, whoever put him up to this. Nobody put me up to this. You put me up to this, bro. I didn't tell you. I did tell you one thing, but I didn't tell you to disassociate from Mersh or the dumb bitch, you're telling all your secrets to. I didn't say that. I said you should denounce what they're doing. So Nick's major problem is I built his career along with Dick Masterson. But it was mostly me, if you don't know the truth. And I helped Dick Masterson out a lot too, if you also want to know the truth. But not that he needed it, but he got a big boost off his Killstream appearances. And that's fine because I got a big boost from him being here. We had a lot of good shows. But Nick Rekieta, without me and Dick Masterson, would be a nobody. He would be chasing ambulances in whatever shithole he lives in Minnesota. That's what he would be doing for a living. And now he's so busted and broken, he can't even do that. So, anyway, his main problem is he genuinely thinks he's better than me. He probably is better than Mersh. I mean, that's not a very high bar. But look at his face. Look at his face. Look at the new look. What is this new look, bro? I said this yesterday. Why don't you just quit? Why are you doing this? You're never getting back to 50K. You're never getting back to 1K. So why are you here? This is my job. You don't even have to work. You know what? If I didn't have to work, I would still work just because, you want to have some type of, focus and hobby or whatever. But you don't have to be here, but you're still here. And you know why you're still here? Aaron Emholt. That's why you're still here. Because you're obsessed. Because he nutted inside your wife multiple times. And there's all kinds of messages. And by God, I wish I would have let him share those. He begged me. Nick begged me in DMs. Don't let him share those. Don't let him share those. And I said, okay, give me the first interview. Now, I fucked up the interview. That's true. Don't let him share those. No. It's Kayla professing her love for Aaron Emholt. That's my understanding, at least. Now, I could understand why he wouldn't want those shown, to be real with you. But Aaron, and he knows this, he fucked me on the first interview. And so, I decided to fuck him, right? Not literally. But, that's just how the game goes. But please, no, they're not involved. Don't let him show those. I'll give you the first interview. And he kept his word. But Aaron was going to show text on this show that proves that his wife, not Aaron's wife, Nick's wife loved Aaron. Loved him. Was in love with him. Everything, and again, I know some people are not going to like hearing this, and you don't have to like Emholt. But I have been struck like a thunderbolt. And I've made fun of the 187th radio market, whatever the fuck. Mersh has never been on any radio market ever. So we can say that. And I have been. I was just on the radio last week. But, and it was like the 55th ranked market. But still, it was AM though. It was AM. But still, I was all in on the Emholt hate. And part of it was the interview and then the stuff with my son. And I did have some chats with him. He said, bro, they had you dead to rights already. And they were trying to tie me into it. Like I put you up to it, which doesn't really why? But I believe what he told me. Now, others can say that's a lie. They can say they don't believe it, whatever. I do. I believe it. And so, Nick Rekieta implying that I'm a pedophile, which I am not. As I say, there's a new model coming out every single year. I have no interest in, 17. I know the joke is, she was only 17, 364 days. No, I don't care. You need to be 18. Now, if you're 18, you're 18. And so, yeah, I do play by that rule for sure. But never had any interest in that at all. And never will. Now, 18-year-olds, But so the more I've had a little dialogue with M. Hole and subpoena, nigga, I don't give a fuck because we ain't said nothing illegal. Like you claimed I did, but I didn't. It's not illegal to go to Colombia and fuck women for free. So above age women, to be clear. It is illegal to go there and fuck minors. That's true. And I did not invite him to engage in any such activity. So he defamed me, basically. But he did it in a sly way. He should check these statutes out. You actually probably can't sue him for that. Because he did it in a way that I would probably do it if I was trying to do that, right? Like, so, shall we just hear from the man himself? And again, I get the blood feud. I get it. Boy, I get it more than anybody listening can understand. I totally get it. Hit like, by the way, likes are free. I get it in a way that very few people can understand. But, dude, it's been a year and a half, bro. And I know he shot load after load. And you're like Mersh. I see why you guys get along so well. You can't get over the fact that somebody else busted nut after nut inside your bitch. And, you know, that is a hard thing to get over. But either cut her loose or just fucking get over it. There's only two options. And you clearly cannot get over it. And I'm not the only one saying this. It's very obvious. Now, let's listen to what he says. I think it's the first 5 minutes. I usually do not pre-watch clips, but I did today.
I've had a busy day today. I don't know about you guys.
He's clearly fucked up right here, by the way. And what I said at the end of the show last night, I think he thought I was actually going to report him. I'm not a snitch, bro. Like I play a few games on Twitter. I'm not going to report you. I actually don't want him to take your kids. That's not what I'm about. No, I'm about fucking people up online. I like doing that. But no, I don't want you to lose your kids. Even though, 6,000 nanograms and all that shit that I defended you on for over a year. And now I'm like, he lied about the galaxy gas. He lied about this. He lied about that. What else might he have been lying about? That's a natural thought. So I'm still not going to say, I don't know. I will say I'm no longer 100,000% convinced that he did not give his daughter cocaine. I would put it at 50-50, actually. And most people, that's actually still being generous, to be honest. But, I was his defender. Yeah, he copied my style. Yeah, he literally did without the hat. But, and I almost went hatless today because I wanted to show up. My hair looked good today, but I was like, the white and the black just looks good in the black and the white noir style. He doesn't know what noir means because he's a fucking dumbass. But he's still smarter than Mersh, though. I'll give him that.
I've had a busy day today. I don't know about you guys. And by busy, I mean very dramatic. Very dramatic. Notorious alcoholic and addict Ethan Rao.
Now imagine this coming from Nick Rekieta. Notorious alcoholic and addict. Now, that may be true. That may be true. First off, without me, you're nothing. Literally, I just got through saying that. But imagine Nick Rekieta calling someone a notorious alcoholic and addict. When the state of Minnesota said your daughter tested positive for 6,000 nanograms of cocaine, and they caught you with 26 grams of cocaine. Your wife looked like some strung out lot lizard. April didn't look much better. You were all obviously had been, don't ask me how I know, but you had all obviously been high on cocaine for days and days with no sleep. Because you can see it in the eyes. The eyes tell. And imagine Nick Rekieta saying that to somebody. Notorious alcoholic and drug addict. That's you, motherfucker. So, again, I don't hide from my drug use. I don't try, It's not pretty. It's been some ugly events that's happened because of it, for sure. But like, imagine that coming from the mouth of this fucking smug fat. Just that line right there. House looked like Requiem for a Dream. You know what? Josh Moon owes me $5,000 because I told him he wouldn't get the body footage because Nick's got everybody bought off up there. But allegedly, that's my opinion. I won't say for sure. I don't know, but that's my opinion. So I told him he wasn't going to get it. And also, you know, me and Josh got our own little feud or whatever. I would say mostly good natured, but he's not going to pay me the money anyway. Now I hope he gets it. Why? Because fuck this guy. Now, is that going to shock some people to hear that? Probably. But that's how I actually feel. Because first off, Josh ain't going to pay me anyway. He's going to welch on that. Second off, fuck him. Fuck Rekieta. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Has decided to threaten me again for doing literally nothing at all.
He's done nothing. He's so innocent. Have you guys ever heard me come out here and portray myself as some innocent guy? That's not me. I don't want that to be me. Like, that's never been me. I've never been that person. And so, you know, I'm not what they say I am, but no, I'm not an innocent. That's for sure. No, I'm not. Oh, I did nothing. Oh, I did nothing. No, you had the opportunity and you didn't have to cut ties. You just had to say, I don't like what they're doing. I don't agree with that. And he said it in private, but he didn't have the balls to say it in public because he's scared of Mersh? Is that how far the mighty have fallen? That you're afraid of Michael Shalalele? How far the mighty have fallen? Let's continue.
All because of whatever his problem is. And I don't have time for it.
I don't have time for it yet. Dude, nobody gives a fuck about you, bro. Go away. You're not entertaining. You never were, really. I actually was doing the court retort. I was doing live. I did that. I invented that. Not him, me. I was doing that. Now, I didn't have a bunch of lawyers lined up to suck my dick to appear for free on his show and all that. But I know more about the law than Nick Rekieta does. And we covered the Floyd trial, Chauvin trial. We covered also the Depp trial too a little bit. And there was another one I can't remember right now. But I started that, not him. And if you just go back to that, whatever. Let's continue.
For it anymore. I'm done with it. It's over. He has threatened to report me for some alleged crime that he believes that I have commit or something.
First off, and I said this again last night. Dude, Galaxy Gas, they would not even. First off, it's just you saying that. It's just Ice Cracker saying that. And she would crack the ice if she stepped on it because she's a fat bitch. But, like, that would be, like, first off, I'm not a snitch. I said that just to fuck with him on Twitter. I'm not filling out any reports, filing anything. No, I'm not going to do that. But he was seemingly terrified that I would. So he decided to go on the attack, which was actually the worst thing he could have done. And he had Mersh on his show, and I had Mersh on my show, and no reason for that. We didn't talk about Ralph. You were sending a message to me. Well, message received, cocksucker. You know when he had me on his show? One time. You know, when I got banned from YouTube, and I was the hottest motherfucker online, basically. He had Mersh on to send a message to me. Well, I'm sending a message to you, and I ain't no snitch. And I don't want your kids taken away. But I'm going to be on your ass from now until the end of days. And if you don't like it, learn to love it.
I don't know. I don't really give a shit what he's planning to report. If he's going to report it, he'll report it.
No, he's not. That's the thing. I'm not. But it had him so shook that it's like, what else is he hiding? There has to be something else there. It can't just be galaxy gas because they would not even violate him for galaxy gas. They wouldn't. Because they couldn't, like, they would test him probably. They'd probably piss test him immediately or whatever. But, like, and he would probably pass it unless he's doing a little something else or a little something else, which is my suspicion. Suspicious minds, as Elvis would say. That's my suspicion, that he's worried about something else. It's not even that, because the galaxy gas, that's nothing. So what's he really worried about? I've been lied to about a lot. About the galaxy gas. I've been lied to about the Google search history that he did hack, in my opinion, given what I know now. And I don't like being taken for a patsy. That's like the worst thing. And then not only taken for a patsy, but treated like a afterwards. So not only am I your patsy, I'm your too. So no. I cut you every break that could be cut. And you only had to do one thing. And you couldn't do it. And now, nobody's fucked with you harder than me. If you know your history, if you know your sector lore. I'm in that mood again. And, well, hard to get me out of that mood.
He's not. He has asked me in public and in private to denounce Mersh and denounce Ice Dancer because he
Ice
cannot
Cracker,
get over being completely broken by this girl who he dated for like 2 weeks.
That's so untrue that it just defies the mind. Broken by, how could that even happen? I told you yesterday, there's three women I've ever loved in my entire life. She ain't one of them. And 2 of them I was married to. So, no, that's not it. It was the aggression afterwards. And I guess I've just been playing nice for too long. And people forgot who I was. And they forgot that I'm the dirtiest ape in the zoo. I know I tried to retire that character, but they won't let me. They won't let me. They keep pulling me back in.
I don't know. All I did was try to hook her up with Mersh. That's what I did. And she ended up.
Does he sound drunk to you guys? I don't know. He sounds a little, to me. I don't know if it's drunk or he's got a video out. This guy's dumb. Talking about, literally upping his prescriptions and shit, like, so he can get high legally. It's like, okay, those are things you should not be saying on air. Now I have legit prescriptions myself. But like, you're on probation. What the fuck?
Doing some different things or whatever. And that is my crime, I guess. Who knows?
No, you know.
Who knows? You
know what the crime is, bro.
But that said, Ralph has his demons. He should fight them instead of trying to fight mine.
No, yours are. You can't beat yours. I'm confident. Others may not be. That I'm going to defeat mine. But you can't defeat yours because you think you're better than everybody. You think that, and look at this new look. I mean, come on. Hello, fellow kids, right? I mean, I've been with the sunglasses and, the hats forever. That's kind of my style, right? He's copying my, by the way, who else copied my style? King Cuck Mersh. Who was wearing sunglasses and doing all this shit first? Well, it was me. And well, it was Howard Stern and all these other motherfuckers back in the day, but like in this area, who was doing all that first? Me. And then they all of a sudden all started doing it. It's almost like I'm their idol.
Are a little more refined than his, but no less dangerous. And
by the way, there is no more refined on the drug addict scale. And I used to think this way. Well, I don't smoke crack. I don't smoke meth. I don't shoot up anything, never have. Well, I must be a better tier of drug addict. Well, no, it's all drug addiction. And you can smoke crack, you can freebase, you can do whatever. Which I believe he's done, by the way. I think he's talked about it. But But there is no better tier of drug addict. There's drug addicts and there's non-drug addicts. And by the way, once you're a drug addict, it doesn't matter if you stop, you're still a drug addict. It's just like alcoholic. You're an alcoholic forever, whether you stop drinking or not. And this whole attitude of my habits are a little more refined. Motherfucker, I've snorted more cocaine than you've ever seen in your fucking life. Your habits are more refined. No, actually, you're dirtier. You're nastier, if you want to know the truth about it. You're sicker than me. Because first off, I don't give a fuck. I come out here and say it. Oh, my habits are a little more refined. Nigga, I was snorting fucking quarter ounces of blow when I was 15 years old. Your habits are more refined? No, they're not. You're a fucking junkie. And the sooner you accept that, the better. But you can't accept that. Because it's in his head that he's better. Oh, I just did a little coke. I just did a little whatever the other fucking, what is it? Modafinil. And, I was doing Galaxy Gas. How many drugs are there? Like, he was doing ket. He was doing ketamine, Galaxy Gas, cocaine, alcohol. Allegedly freebasing, from what I recall. Smoking weed, which whatever. But like, are your habits really more refined? I don't think they are. And second off, there is no more refinement. That's not what it is. You're either a drug addict, you either have problems with drugs or you don't. So there is no higher tier. This guy's on heroin and this guy's not. I'm better than them. No. And that's why I don't want to say never get better, because I actually don't wish that. Believe it or not, because I've struggled with drugs really my whole adult life. And so, as much as I'm disgusted with this bastard, but you don't get over it by thinking like that. And I used to think that way.
Who knows? With that said, Ralph has his demons. He should fight them instead of trying to fight mine. Mine are a little more refined than him.
A little more refined? You mean like letting Aaron M. Holt nut inside your wife repeatedly in front of your face? Is that a more refined habit? Like, I don't know. I'm not sure, but I would say no. But having your wife send M. Holt texts about how she's in love with him, is that more refined? I don't think so. Your habits are not more refined. They're arguably more degenerate, if you want to be honest about it. But again, there's no real comparison. Like, you're either living a clean life or you're not. And there's no, you could be shooting up, you could be smoking rock, whatever. It's all the same.
But no less dangerous and dark and
Galaxy Gas, the shit you buy at a Walmart and fucking huff out of a can. I did air duster once in my life. They're like, bro, I told the story in there. Bro, we found an air duster. You can buy it for like $5, $10. We can ride around and get high. I did that shit one time and it was wah, 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 wah in my head. And I was like, never again. I did whippets one time and I was like, this sucks. And so, yeah, you talk about tiers of drugs. Well, Xanax is a if you really want to rank them, that's a more refined habit actually, and so is alcohol. But you're an alcoholic too. So like, you were literally fucking so cracked out on stream, you were jacking off or getting sucked off, one or the other, just like shaking like a leaf on a tree. Ugh. That's how fucked up you were. You're not refined. You're a piece of fucking shit. And you always fucking have been, motherfucker. The whole fucking time you've been that motherfucker. Refine my ass. Refine these nuts in your mouth like you let Aaron Emholt put his nuts in your wife's mouth. Refine that, motherfucker.
Ruinous.
Yeah. Refine that. Retcon that, cocksucker.
Mine are a little more refined than his, but no less dangerous and dark and, ruinous towards me. I mean, I'm not talking towards him. What's ruinous towards him would be what he's asking to, like, he's threatening to release stuff or whatever. And, hey, bro, I'm not the one who admitted to federal crimes.
First off, I never did that. Second off, if they subpoena DMs, you're going to be the one fucked. So I'm not worried about that at all. But, like, I released just the very tip of the iceberg, and I didn't go any further because I felt bad about it. And I'm not going to go any further now because I'm not filling out reports. I'm not a snitch. That's just not me. Now, did I allude to it? Yeah, I did. But
that's not me.
That did not happen. That's he just defamed me, by the way. That's defamation. With the term is actual malice, I believe, is the term. And, he's a lawyer. He knows what he's doing. He said in a way, he could get away with it. But he lied about me right there.
Didn't do that. But I don't think you want to go down this road, you fucking tard.
I'm the tard. You were the number one YouTuber, like, of all time, basically. And you blew it. You blew it, and you let your wife blow Aaron Emholt. So, who's the tard? Who's the real tard? Who threw it all away? It was over the course of years. But, like, who's the real tard here? I've done some retarded shit, even recently, no doubt. But who's the real retard? Fake ass motherfucker.
I don't get it. I don't understand because I don't have
subpoena my DMs. I'm not federal charges for going to Colombia and fucking women that I did not pay for that were above 18. That's not a crime. That's not a crime. So again, and the feds don't care anyway. Like, dude, it's so retarded in the first place. Like,
to turn you in. But for you to make the reports you're going to make, you're going to have to show the authorities where you admit to federal crimes.
I have never done that ever. So again, another count of defamation.
Guess what? You're still a U.S. citizen. You still have to cross a border, and they can search your phone without probable cause or a warrant. And if you keep talking about it in public, you moron, you're going to get Customs and Border Protection to flag you and search your phone.
They can search it. First off, you don't have to submit to that search. Now, if he knew his law, I could tell you a little bit about it. You don't have to submit to that search if you're a U.S. citizen. Now, if you're a visa, if you're coming in on a visa, you do, basically, or they'll throw you out. A U.S. citizen does not have to submit to that search. So, citizen can refuse search and cannot be denied entry. Refusing can lead to further questioning or temporary seizure of the device. Now, that's true. But you do not have to submit to that search. Now, I most likely would because I don't have anything to hide on my phone. But you don't have to submit to that search at all. Now, I know the law, bro. Feds have better stuff to do. Of course they do. This is all retardation. But if you're a U.S. citizen and they ask to search your phone, tell them no. Now, in my case, I probably would just say, yeah, go ahead. But, like, you do not have to submit to that search. Period. And if you're, if you got some, I won't advise anybody what to do, but, there's other ways besides just, telling them no, which you are within your rights to do. And they can take your phone. I've never had this happen, by the way. So they can ask for your PIN or password. Yeah, and you don't have to get them. You don't have to give it to them. You would think a libertarian like Nick would know this. As a U.S. citizen, you have the right to refuse a search. Refusal will not result in you being denied entry into the country. However, your device may be temporarily detained and you could face additional questioning. Yeah, you don't have to submit to that search. That's total horseshit. Now, you would think a legal genius like this guy would know that, but...
When you cross the border, and who knows what you told to anybody else. But I didn't admit to federal crimes.
Neither did I, Nick.
On our messages. You did. So
Wrong.
Stop threatening me. Stop it. I don't want anything bad to happen to you, but you. Go ruin your own life.
You've already ruined yours. I figured I'd just help you now.
Jesus Christ, these people cannot get over themselves. It's irritating.
I know the law. They literally cannot search a U.S. citizen's phone without their permission. Now they can fuck with you. They can, try to take your device. You don't have to give them the code. And if you got a code, they can't crack your phone. I mean, they can, but it's a long process. Unless they were thinking you're Pablo Escobar, they're not even gonna. This is so dumb. Like, whatever.
Enough shit going on. I don't need Ethan Ralph running around squealing at me.
Yeah, this is right, by the way. Cast Iron says they pretend to be fuck the government libertarians until they get made fun of on the internet. Then they come running to big daddy government to snitch. That's exactly it. But I'm telling you all as a public service announcement, if you come across the border and you're a U.S. citizen, you do not have to let them search your device. And I would advise you, no matter whether there's anything illegal on there or not, don't let them. Because they don't have that right unless you give it to them. Yeah, Rekieta has never heard of the Fourth Amendment. Well, I have. And the Fourth Amendment does not fully apply at ports of entry, but it doesn't fully apply, but it does apply. And you do not have to let that happen. And I'm not worried about it anyway, because I did not admit to any federal crimes. So, anyway.
All I said was nice stuff to you. That's it. This is my crime.
Yeah, because you were blowing smoke up my ass. You're blowing smoke up my ass to keep the smoke from coming on your fucking head. And I've talked to a lot of people, and I know you've done this to a lot of people. And I'm sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of playing games with fake people that don't deserve my loyalty. They don't deserve my respect even.
These things. Trying to help you out.
Oh, yeah. He's trying to help me. He's just trying to help me. God, this is total. I hate the word gaslighting, but that's what this is.
No, you didn't tell me those in my capacity as a lawyer, and you know that because you told them to me after my license was suspended.
Well, Fat Sean would say, you still have a responsibility. But regardless, I don't care. I didn't admit to any federal crimes or any other crimes, so I don't give a fuck.
And you weren't talking to me as a lawyer. You were inviting me to go do something. Stop. Please.
No.
Just stop.
No, you need to stop. Not because I'm going to file a report, because I'm not going to do that. Because that breaks the whole, not just the character, not just the persona, that breaks my code. I'm not a snitch. You are. And so is your wife, and arguably other people are too. Mersh, snitch. Other people snitch. Me, no snitch. So, yeah, I said what I said on Twitter to fuck with you. I was never going to file a report. Dude, I got my own shit going on. I'm going to spend, if I was filing shit, it would be in another case. That has to do with me. What the fuck? Are you nuts? He is clearly shook. He ran like a coward. from EVS, the fat fucking throat goat stream. He ran like a coward because he knows I was about to slap the shit out of him rhetorically. But I don't snitch. So that's just me.
I don't understand. Like, look,
dude, should we go? You know
level-
what? You know what's so funny is somebody mentioned the stream before he got arrested was beyond degenerate. I actually came out and defended that stream because he was shitting on Medicare because he actually hates Medicare. And when I started the whole rumor that Medicare was dead. Rekieta messaged me and said, I have Medicare on Discord. And he said, I'll send him a message and see if he responds. I have this. This is true. So I didn't show it the other night. I said, okay, yeah, let me know if he says anything. So, Jim, if you're thinking, you got a guy here, you don't. He's a fake faggot to everybody. Now, there's no love lost between us either. But he literally said, is Jim really dead? And I said, no, I don't think so. I'm just, it's kind of a rumor that I helped pump up or whatever, just for fun. And he said, well, I have him on Discord, and I'll send him a message, and I'll let you know if he answers back. First off, I thought Jim didn't do Discord, so that was kind of mystifying, actually. But he told me that. And I was honestly surprised by that. I was like, I thought, what he said on that fucked up stream that I actually defended like a fool. He doesn't like Medicare, which I understand, but he told me that and I have the proof. So you want to talk about Jim this, Jim that, come save me, Daddy Jim. Okay, well, Jim, I'm telling you, I got that message. And if you want to see it, you can see it. And you know how to get a hold of me. This guy's not to be trusted by anybody. And if you do, that's on you. But I'm telling you, under the threat, if I was in court, I'd put my hand on the Bible under penalty of perjury and swear to God on my mother's grave that he sent me those messages. And I could show him now. But I felt like I've done enough delving into the DMs. But he definitely did that. Did Nick just admit to falsely representing himself as a lawyer to you then? Yeah, he basically did. He's not that smart, guys. Now, he's smarter than Mersh. Again, not a high bar. But he's not that bright. So he's basically saying, well, maybe you thought I was your lawyer, but I'm not. Like, he's never getting his law license back, guys. Like, I mean, I don't even think. That's just something you don't say. I remember making fun of I shouldn't call him Fat Sean. Potentially criminal. When he said, by the way, I don't like the whole, whatever that guy's name is. I forgot his name. Captain Manning is his nom de plume. And I made fun of him for good reason, by the way. My own personal reasons, too. And I remember Sean came out and he said, you know what? Even if it wasn't in your capacity as a lawyer, officially, I treat all personal communications like that because I'm a lawyer. So, and at the time I kind of laughed and mocked because I was on Team Rekieta, whatever. But no, that's actually how you should be. So yeah, he basically did admit that, yeah.
Level of self-destructive traits. I understand.
Self-destructive traits.
Some level of self-destructive traits. I have plenty of them.
You do, yes. You're doing them now, actually. So,
but this weird thing where someone's always got to have someone to fight. Ralph is really good when he's not fighting someone. He's really shitty at fighting people.
Is that what you think? Now, again, I ain't going to snitch, but is that what people really think? Ralph's not good at fighting people? I think the exact opposite is the most people think. But there's been some misfires here or there for sure. But I didn't misfire on you. I called you out. Matter of fact, There's only a couple more minutes left in this little thing. Can we just take a trip down memory lane again? Just for those who don't remember, this is 2022, May, 3.5 years ago.
It's called Rackets Fall.
I'm perfectly happy where I'm at. Rekieta's fall is going to be so delicious. Listen to what I'm saying. I've been here for a while. And I've seen him come and I've seen him go. We're going to witness a staggering collapse for Nick Rekieta.
How?
I'd be willing.
How? How does it happen to anybody, dude? We've seen the greatest men in history fall. You think some fucking YouTuber who got lucky on Johnny Depp can't fall? They can all fall. And they probably will. How? Whoa, bro. How? Well, you saw how.
To bet just
Drugs, whoring out his wife, you know, things like that.
about any amount of money that's not going to.
And by the way, I was the only one talking about that at the time. We're the ones who covered hedonism too. We did all that first. We covered his dalliances down there, and it was what was it? Fucking down there in hedonism too. That's my recollection, at least. We covered all that while they were covering his fucking ass. Now it's true. I made peace with him later because I felt like, my shit was kind of going bad at the time, my family, and I could tell he was in trouble too. I have a soft spot. I wish I didn't. And I said, man, we used to be friends. Can we just move on? He said, yeah. So, but I knew what trajectory he was on because I've been on it and off it and back on it. So,
for Nick Rekieta.
How?
I'd be willing to bet just about any amount of money that's not going to happen.
Really? Fat ass. Well, I wish you would have made that bet. I hope your football bets are going a little bit better. So you can eat your 17 bags of chips and 18-liter sodas per day.
I could believe that he might have a slow decline into irrelevancy.
That's not what happened.
A month or 2 months or whatever, yeah.
God, Warski's is totally useless, by the way.
I just don't believe there's going to be a catastrophic scandal about Nick Rekieta that comes out that's going to totally destroy his shit.
Even if there was a bad one, he would still retain a big audience.
Is that right?
Let's be fair.
You think so?
I still don't even know, what could he really do?
He'd have to kill his children.
No, he just allegedly fed him cocaine.
I mean, even if he screwed over some people in a fundraiser or
which he did, by the way. Let's ask Vic Mignogna what he thinks about Rekieta. I think he's already made it clear. Rekieta raised hundreds of thousands of dollars. I said this last night. I'm going to repeat it. Hundreds of thousands of dollars and gave it to his family lawyer. I believe, that's my understanding, to represent a guy on a high-profile defamation case. Now, who did he hire for his own defamation case? Mark Randazza, who's one of the top defamation lawyers in the country, right? So he hired the top guy for his own defamation case. But who did he hire for Vic Mignogna's defamation case? Some scrub. So they could probably, in my opinion, both get a little skim. That's my belief. I can't prove it. I'm not saying it as a fact. That's my belief. But he hired the top fucking defamation attorney, free speech attorney in the country to represent himself, and he hired some fucking scrub from Texas to represent Vic. So that should tell you right there all you need to know. Right? So he hires the top guy for himself, and he hires a family friend who I believe, I've read at least, I don't know if this is true, represents his family's estate or has done business with his family. Again, I don't know that all this is true, but I know they were tight, and they made that clear on air many times. So you hire some scrub for the big case, but when your ass is on the line, you hire the top guy. That's a piece of shit. You should have hired Randazza for that case, which you weren't going to win anyway, but maybe you would have had at least a chance. Do you know how they lost that case? Dumbass Ty Beard didn't file a fucking piece of paperwork on time. All that money he got paid. He didn't file a piece of paperwork on time, and they lost. They dismissed the case. And they filed it in Texas because it's defamation law is a little bit looser in Texas. That's why they filed it there. So if that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about this guy's character, I don't know what does. And it wasn't his money. Like, they raised that money. He could have hired Randazza for that. Why didn't he? Ask him that. Somebody super chat this fucking and ask him why he didn't hire the top guy for Vic Mignogna, but he hired the top guy for himself. Ask him. I want to hear the fucking answer. Why did you hire your butt buddy, family friend, to blow the case, but you hired the top motherfucker for your case? I want the fucking answer.
And like a super mega grift, like people don't even give a man.
He's a smart dude. He would have.
But here's the thing, like, if Ralph still has an audience and people paying him.
By the way, I see this in chat. No, that's true. He worked on his estate in the legal papers, if I recall correctly. That's my recollection too. So it was an inside job. The call came from inside the house. The call came from inside the house. And it was a scam, in my opinion, from the start. And it was a losing case. Like, I know a little bit about the law, more than him, actually. And it's not impossible. It's very hard to win a defamation case if you're a public figure. That's why he's defamed me 3 or 4 times in the video. He defamed me on Twitter last night. But, like, there's no point suing him because I'm so controversial. The argument would be, well, you can't really hurt his reputation. He's controversial already, right? And it'd probably get tossed. So there's no point.
And it's going to be, listen, I've been here for a while. I'm a tabloid god. I'm telling you now.
It's a tabloid god?
Yeah, tabloid god, fat fuck. I did not misspeak.
I'm sorry, Ralph.
You're not sorry. I mean, you are sorry, but not for that reason.
Is he? Well, I guess he is, like, he's a tabloid.
First of all,
Even worse, he's like, well, I guess he is, actually. Well, yeah, that's the first smart thing you said this whole segment. Yeah, I guess he is, really.
like the words tabloid and god, like, they probably shouldn't even be in the same
Well,
sentence.
I wasn't comparing myself to the Lord Almighty, you fucking moron. Being the god of tabloidism is not being the god of the universe, but regardless.
Sentence.
Oh, really?
Like if you're a tabloid journalist or whatever, like, you're not a god. Oh, in any sense. Even if you're the top of the tabloid, like, you're still a piece of shit. Like,
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant. I didn't say that made you holy. That's not what I meant by that.
I didn't know what to say.
He's on the tabloids all the time.
It's going to be
Worse, he's completely sloshed in this clip, too. Jesus.
an
Who am I to talk? But I'm just saying.
unbelievably nasty fall for Nicholas Rekieta. I promise you. I
already a
promise you.
millionaire.
And it is going to be.
He makes so much money. He could have, like,
Listen to them. Slurping it down. Just like Josh Moon was doing. Just like they were all doing. But who wasn't doing that? Me. Until I felt sorry for him. And was also having some shit going on in my own life. And I was like, you know what? Until I felt sorry for him. And I pioneered all this shit. But who was slurping? These people.
2 bad years. And
Well,
still-
his whole channel could fucking go down tomorrow. He's still a millionaire and he's still a lawyer with a law degree. He could.
Well, he's not a lawyer anymore. But PPP's right. His whole channel could go down, and it hasn't. But like I said last night, he should just quit. Like, why is he even here? I'm here because this is my job. But
practice law. Even if he loses the whole channel, he can still practice law. I mean, he never actually has because he's a shyster. But
okay, true. But
look at me. Look at me. I am the Ralph Mail now, Andy.
Every drop is going to be delicious, and it is going to be, you can't get
by the
it.
way, I'm drunk out of my mind in this clip, and I'm still, it's like, I don't want to say divinely inspired, but it was like I could see it because he had such a big head. I've been there. The same thing happened to me. Now, it was not quite as big a fall, but we used to have 10K a night, whatever. I've been there. And can't nobody tell you shit, and you're fucking hoes, and you're doing drugs, and you're doing all this, and they can't tell you shit because it's working, because you're making money and it's working. But then all of a sudden, it stops working.
Look at me. Look at me. I am the Ralph male now, Andy.
Every drop is going to be delicious, and it is going to be, you can't get enough when this falls. And just as sure as I'm sitting here, that's going to happen.
What happened? What about this?
Say yes to cocaine.
Okay, that's pretty funny. By the way, shout out Alyssa Clips. I know she hates me now, but I did take your video. I mean, it's my clip basically. Well, it's them watching me or whatever. But there were a lot of people who wanted me to dance on his grave back then when he got arrested, and I didn't, and I should have. That's a weakness in me. I should have been the number one motherfucker dancing a jig. And that first night, I did get up and dance a little bit.
Say yes to cocaine.
Just say yes to cocaine. Just say yes to cocaine. Ralph has more experience than these clowns. Yeah, I do. And it's not even bragging. It's just the truth. I could see it coming. And we were in the middle of a big beef. I mean, that's true, but it wasn't because of the beef. I could just see what was about to happen. And it happened. And he hadn't fully fallen. The big scandal was the year after, right? This was 2023 when I made peace, but I could already see he was on the slide. And it just was unsporting. It's like, and I'm trying to, at the time, I was trying to put my marriage back together and all this stuff. I was like, man, let's just drop this. Because I felt sorry for you. Not because you were refined. Because of nostalgia. And nostalgia will fuck your shit up all the time. Sometimes it's great. Oftentimes it's not.
But anyway, that's about all I have to say on that subject. Oh, and by the way, the person you're talking to who's probably put you up to this.
Now listen to this. Dude, he's so concerned with M-Hole. Listen to this. He thinks Aaron M-Hole put me up to this. He didn't. You put me up to this. Because you didn't, first off, you disrespected me for a year and a half, but that's another thing. That's not what really caused it. You just could not, you're too scared of Mersh. You're too scared of Melton. You're too scared of the Dabbleverse. Well, I ain't scared of none of these motherfuckers. Like I said, I've seen them come and I've seen them go, and I'm still here. And I'm always going to be here until I'm dead. So, I'm not scared of any of these motherfuckers, ever. All you had to do is, it's not even disassociate. Just say what they're doing is wrong. And I'm still friends with them, but what they're doing to Ralph, what they're trying to do to Ralph, what they're saying about his son, that's wrong. That's all you had to say. And you did say it in private, but you didn't have the nuts to say it in public because you're a pussy. Stretched out further than Aaron stretched out your wife's pussy.
I don't think they want you to have your phone searched at CBP either.
Yeah, bro, I'm not worried about it. You're so fucking stupid. This guy is fucking on something. Like, there's no way. Galaxy Gas don't explain this.
Because it might look like a violation of their probation. That would be really stupid.
Listen to what he says. He's talking about M-Holt. He thinks M-Holt put me up to this. I have talked to M-Holt a little bit. I tried to get him on the show. And that's it. M-Holt didn't get... Guys... And I'm not insulting Aaron with what I'm saying here. M-Holt does not give me orders. Nobody gives me orders, and nobody ever has. Even when I should have listened to some advice and orders from my parents, I didn't. And so nobody tells me what to do ever. And Aaron M-Holt, no. That's not an insult. That's just the truth. And he really sees Aaron Imholt behind every shadow. And it's like I said on Twitter, it's because every time he looks into his wife's eyes, the wife that bore him 5 children, he thinks about Aaron nutting inside her over and over and over and over and over again. He thinks about the texts she sent him about how in love she was with him. Allegedly, that's what he says. I haven't seen the text. How it was a real love affair. That's what he thinks about when he looks at his wife. And first off, that's exhibit A, why you don't do shit like this. But second off, yeah, I guess I can understand why you see Aaron Imholt every time you look at her, every time you look in the mirror. And it's got to be tough, but you just got to get over it. What are you doing? And this is genuine advice. I'll stop the ranting. Why are you here? What benefit is this to your family? Now I got to keep working. I'm going to keep working because I want to. But also, I'm not a fucking trust fund nepo baby that has just money laying around. I can't just stop working. So you're not getting it back. You're an object of derision. And there's some people who consider me that too. We're about to have a great guest on the show. I was just on with James Edwards. I still got a lot of people who support me throughout it all. And how many of those people do you have, Nick? And why don't you have them? That's what you should ask yourself. Now, there's some I've lost along the way too. But I still got a pretty big Rolodex. And I got a pretty big something else too that Kayla might enjoy. But regardless, he sees Aaron Imholt behind everything. Imholt had nothing to do with this at all. The first message he sent me after the Fuck Merch Festival, he was texting me during it. And during the reveal and this and that. And the next morning was, how much involvement? He literally sent me this. How much involvement did Imholt have with this? I said, none. And I told him the truth. I said, well, I tried to get him on the show. We were going to record something at first. And then it was decided by his advisors that wasn't the best play for him. And I told the truth. Exactly. I mean, I didn't copy and paste what we had said, but I told him exactly what happened. I said he had nothing to do with this, Nick. You, and that fat fuck EVS. And Mersh and Ice Cracker. You picked the wrong side. And you may not see it now. But you're going to see it. And I'm not going to file a report. Why would I? You really believe that? God, these people are so dumb. Do you not know me at all? It's called trolling.
Anyway, that's about all I have to say on that subject. Oh, and by the way, the person you're talking to, who's probably put you up to this, I don't think they want you to have your phone searched at CBP either.
Actually, I would share every single message I've ever had with Aaron Imholt. And I won't right now, but we've never had any type of discussions that would be improper in a legal sense at all, ever. Now that whole Google search history thing, turns out, and I'm not quoting Aaron, I've talked to several different people about that. It's my understanding that that was not a troll. That Nick Rekieta, it's my understanding and my belief that he did illegally access Aaron's Google account and his history and search history and all that. Now, at the time, I said, that's a troll. He's trolling you guys. Da, da, da. It wasn't, in my opinion. And I have a lot of good reason to say that. And I don't want to say too much, but the case ain't closed there, brother. And so You want to threaten me? You want to throw around shit? You better watch your own ass. Because they don't, you think you got away with one, and you did in Candy Ojai, Fuck High County. But I don't believe that, and I have several different sources that say you illegally accessed his Google account, which is actually a federal crime, by the way. That's a real federal crime, Nick. You want to talk about federal crimes? You fucking cuck fuck. You want to talk about criminality? That's criminal. And by God, I hope they fucking lock your ass up for it. Fuck you. And you know why? It's not even because of this beef. It's because you fucking lied to me. You played people for fools. You acted like it was a troll. And it wasn't. You lied to the people, and more importantly, you lied to me. So you want to talk about federal crimes? And I don't have any direct evidence on that. Be glad I don't, motherfucker. Because I know I talk about no snitching, but be glad I don't. But he ain't the only one who should be worried about that either. There's a fat, failed comedian who should maybe also be thinking about what I'm saying right now. And I told somebody earlier today, sometimes it takes me a while to see the light. That's true. But when I see it, I bask in it. And I have seen the light. And I told him in DMs last night, I said, first off, don't ever threaten me again. Ever. Do not ever threaten me again. And then I said, I'm not a snitch. I'm not filing any report. My second piece of advice was to keep your mouth shut on Twitter. You're making people think there's more here. Now, this is legitimate. I shouldn't even give him that type of advice. Right? That was old me. I just snapped into, Nick, shut up. You're throwing around federal statutes that I didn't even break, and didn't say I ever broke and never would. You're threatening me with federal crimes? Okay, brother. I don't like that. But it's actually worse for you. They're not putting me in federal prison. I'm not going back to jail. You got 5 years of paper on your ass. I don't. And I know what it's like to be on paper. That's the criminal term for being on probation or parole. You got 5 long years. And does anybody in this chat think he's going to make it through those 5 years? And again, I'm not even wishing that on him, but I don't see it because he's obsessed with Holt. He sees him behind every corner. It's my belief that they may end up getting him on that alleged illegal Google access. So you want to talk your shit? I'll talk my shit and what I know and who I've talked to, several different sources. So if I were you, I would stay the fuck up out of my shit. Because I don't plan to stay the fuck up out of your shit. But I would keep real quiet. I don't have any evidence of him doing that, by the way. He played it off as a troll to me. But I was told by several different people that wasn't a troll. And there is some there is all I'll say about violating confidence. And if you think that won't get you violated, technically, I guess maybe it happened before your sentencing, so maybe not, but it would probably fuck up your non-felon status that you're trying to get. So keep playing around. Keep throwing out federal statutes. Keep threatening me. Keep working with Mersh and Icecracker and Vickers and all these people. Keep doing that. Because I'm going to be here. I'm going to survive. When the nuclear winter comes, it's going to be me, DSP, and the cockroaches. You're not built like that, son, boy. Smurf King said, if Nick hadn't been born with a silver spoon in his mouth, he would be dead by now. That's my belief as well. Ralph has been through life shit with no rich daddy backup. That's the absolute truth. And he's lucky to have that. And he should think about that and his family and his children. And I know it's hard to look in Kayla's eyes knowing she took a nut shot from M. Holt 45 times in those eyes. But, you know, if you can't get past it, cut her loose. Am I wrong? I don't think I am.
Because it might look like a violation of their probation. That would be really stupid for everybody involved. So maybe just leave me alone, because I don't care.
Snitch, it, fuck. Snitch, fuck. Piece of trash. Fake libertarian. Fake lawyer. Fake trad dad. Not even a good cokehead. A bum-ass cokehead, too. Refined. Did you really look refined on that last stream, bro? You didn't look too refined to anybody else. You looked like you were on death's door. That's what you looked like. Because you were. By God, you know what? Him getting caught by the police, maybe, and however that happened, I don't know. That might have saved his fucking life. Because he was headed for the grave. Like, it was that bad. And anybody who saw him, he does look better physically now because they stopped him from, well, I don't know what he's doing on the side, but like, besides the Galaxy gas, which I was told from 2 different sources. We'll leave that there. One was a primary one, but regardless, they don't violate you over that. But some of the other stuff that I feel like you're dabbling in, they will. And again, I'm giving you very serious advice here, Nick. You got a lot to lose. And I'm not going to report you. I don't give a fuck. I'm not that guy. But not everybody's like me. And, you know, the Galaxy gas, I wouldn't even worry about that. Like, that's nothing. They can't even really test for it. That would just be a slap on the wrist. They would say, hey, we heard you're doing Galaxy gas. Don't do that anymore. Da, da, da. But he's obviously worried about something else. So whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're worried about, you need to rein it in unless you want to go to fucking prison for years and lose everything. I guess you'll still have daddy's money when you get out, but that'll be it. Kayla will be off with Jamal and, you know, so will your kids. So unless you want to lose everything, you better rein it in. This whole sunglasses shit you ripped off from me, just like Mersh, all these fucks, the new look, the jackets. You need not be focused on that, son. You need to be focused on losing everything because that's what's hanging in the balance. That's what you're on the precipice of doing. And I still have that part of me. If it happens, I will come out here and sing and dance, but I actually don't want that to happen. But looking at how he acts and he still thinks he's better than everybody else, why would he think that? Why would he think that? Where's his law degree even from? It's not from Harvard. It's not from Yale. What shitty ass college did he even go to? Now I know mine's from, you know, University of South Carolina. I bet my degree is actually worth more than his, except it's not a law degree, it's political science. But where does he have this? And it's not because he's not a good broadcaster. He couldn't riff like this. I've been riffing for a fucking hour and a half longer. 2. It's not because you're funny. You're not. Every once in a while, you'll say something mildly, mild chuckle. It will elucidate elicit a mild chuckle. That's it. You're not funny. You got lucky. You got pumped up by me and Masterson. That's it. So this whole superiority complex you got is totally unearned. And you really really need to be thinking about your family. And I don't think that's what you're doing. I think you're thinking about Aaron Emholt and me and having Mersh on to fuck with me. Thanksgiving's on Thursday. You still have your whole family. I would fucking do anything to have that. And I wouldn't be thinking about, I do my shows probably till Wednesday, but I would be thinking about my Thanksgiving week. And if I was in his spot with all his money, I'd probably just take the whole week off. He doesn't even need to be streaming. What, has he said anything about Thanksgiving plans? It's me, Emholt, Mersh, Icecracker, and Cooking with Kurt. This guy's fucking lost. And I said this on air already. He said, Ralph, you're at your best when you're doing your interviews and, you're not fighting people. And, part of me agrees with that. But then I said this already on air a couple days ago, a few days ago, a week ago, whenever. Then I saw him on a clip and he said, I'm going to do some more Emholt coverage and some more Cooking with Kurt coverage. And I'm like, that's the exact opposite advice of what he just gave me. So that means he's lying to me and trying to blow smoke up my ass to stop the fire coming down on his head. And I said it already, but that was really one of the main things that convinced me this guy was lying to me and has been lying to me, and the Galaxy guys too, and all that. And so then you go back and you think, how many times has he lied? The nanograms, the 9-year-old. And I don't want to believe that, by the way, because I defended him against that vociferously. I do not want to believe that. But I have to question my judgment at this point because I defended you for so long and you lied. So, yeah, your federal crimes and all this shit, total bullshit. You can't fuck with me. I don't give a fuck about you. And I plan to keep covering your fuck ups, by the way. But I think this will probably be, well, unless something else crazy happens with them in the next week or two, the last I have to say about them for a little while. But you really should not be focused on this shit. Because at the end of the day, I said it's my job. It doesn't matter to me, but your family's what matters. And I've lost 2 families, and it hurts. And you're on the verge of losing one yourself. And do what you're going to do. I know what you're going to do. I told somebody else, we were talking about how manipulative he was and how he lies and spins and this and that. And I said, yeah, that's the druggy mindset. And believe me, I understand. But he can't come clean with anything. You notice I come clean. It may take me a day or two, but I always come clean with it. He can never just admit how bad he was, how down bad he was, what a fucked up situation he was. He was pining after April all summer. Imagine being his wife, the same wife who took 8,500 nut shots from Aaron Emholt. Imagine being Kayla, reading about him pining for April. Poor woman. And I don't say that sarcastically.
Care what you do. I don't care what you're doing. Don't care what you're up to. Don't care about your love life. I don't give a shit. You told me to stop caring, so I did. Done with it. Done with it. So, in case you're aware of that drama going on, if you're not, just ignore it. But if you are aware of that drama going on, that's my statement on it. There won't be really anything else. Miss Debates, thank you for the cat sticker. Nakadashi Tomodachi, thank you for sending a lie in. Look, I don't really care what you have to say anymore. So send all the money you want. I won't read.
That's exactly right, Cast Iron. And you know what? I know some people think I'm blowing smoke up Jesse's ass, but he was right the whole time about a lot of these people. Rekieta was your friend the same way Mersh was your friend. It's all about what you can do for them, and that's it. Transactional snake shit. Yes. And to be honest with you, Mersh did more for me than Rekieta did. No lie. That's just being honest. King Cuck Mersh did more for me. Included, gave me some free pussy. So he did much more for me than Rekieta ever did. And that's the truth. This guy got on top and he forgot where he came from. And matter of fact, when he was on top, he was trying to ruin my career. He was trying to put me in the ground. And I still forgave that because I felt sorry for him. No more. Never again.
Anymore. Because you're gay. Enjoy.
No matter how many hours of Kurt content you do, you are still a felonious, adulterous, drug-using cuck. And our wife is still a whore.
Why are you subjecting yourself to this? I know why I'm doing it, but like, why are you here? What is going on? Can we hear that again, please? He had to hit play for that to come through. Like mine just popped through. He had to hit play for that to come through. For the $5, he hit play. He hit play for $5 and he's got all this money. You know, he has to go through and press play for it to go through. For $5. Like a crackhead. Because that's what you are, a fucking crackhead. Don't make yourself, it wasn't refined. You were cracked out of your fucking mind, bro. That's what you were. That's what you still are. You miss your dietary supplement, remember? I remember when you told me that. You're a fucking crackhead. You're a fucking crackhead. That's what you fucking are. A crackhead white. That's what you are. And you better shape up because it ain't going to be me. I'm just going to talk shit on the internet like I always do. I'm not following your reports. I don't even know that anybody else could. But you better be careful. You're talking to the wrong people. I already told you. You don't want to hear it? Okay. I hope you enjoyed that segment. I did not plan on it being that long, but I had a lot to say. And yeah, I took my shots and not literal cum shots like M. Holt, Dylan, Caleb, but like I made my jokes but it's really not a joking situation, Nick. It's not a threat. That's not me saying I'm filing out any papers. I'm not. It's something you should really, some of these words you should take to, you're probably watching actually. What else are you doing? In between puffs of Galaxy gas, you're probably watching. But you should really think about some of these things I've said. Because, you know, the nasty jokes and all that, they don't come from a good place. But the advice I gave you comes from a good place. And I know you won't listen because people in this position, and I've been in a similar position without all, you know, the trust fund money and all that, they don't listen until they have to get it themselves. And so I'm just telling you, if you just even would take in anything that I just said there, like the real shit, you could really change your life for the better. But I won't count on it. Oh yeah, I know. That's another lie. No, Ralph, I was just watching the false fart video on stream, laughing along at your expense innocently every single time with the gaslighting. He's always like that. He's always been a liar and a fraud. And, you know, I didn't want to see it. I saw it clearly, and you saw my prediction. But then I said, nah, maybe I'm wrong. It's just internet fight, and we used to be bros. No, I was right. No. I was right. I saw you for who the fuck you were. And I'm seeing it again. Threatening me with shit I didn't even do, fake ass federal crimes and all this shit. That ain't the way, brother. That ain't the way. And that's not a threat. I'm not filling out anything. I'm not trying to take your kids. But that ain't the way. Because there's a lot of other people out there. You know, this is hopefully a comedy show mostly, right? there's a lot of other people out there who want to see your head on a pike for real, not for laughs. And he ain't gonna listen. He big leagued all these people. I don't like legal dick sucker. I get along with potentially criminal, fair enough, most of the time. Even though he says some shit out of the side of his mouth every once in a while. But you know what? I say some shit out of the side of my mouth about him too. So I don't take it personally. He does the suffer. Well, you're going to suffer if you don't drop about fucking 200 pounds, you fat motherfucker. So you're going to suffer a major cardiac arrest is what you're going to suffer. But I love talking to him about not politics, law. And I do have some contact with him. Suffer. Yeah, you're going to suffer. You're going to have a major stroke or like brain hemorrhage. Something's going to happen. You need to lose the weight. I lost 100 pounds. So even 100 pounds, you really need to lose 200 to be real with you. You need to lose 200. But even 50 would be good, right? So I know I see your clips and I see you taking shots. I don't take it personally. So I hope you don't take what I'm saying here personally. But yeah, bro, you need to lose the weight. At least some of it, because if not, you're going to die. And there's fates worse than death, too. Like immobilization and strokes and talking like this for the rest of your life. So, you know, and that's not out of the side of my mouth. That's just me telling you, you need to get healthy, bro. And I know that might sound funny coming from me, but... And I actually like him. I said this on air before, but... I went to rehab. Of course, it didn't stick quite, but he messaged me. You know who didn't message me? Nick Rekieta. But he did. And he said, Ralph, you got this. Now, I didn't. But... And I had the little Bill Street excursion. I'm back on my good boy status now. But still, I respected that. And I can take the little jokes back and forth. And there were some jokes mixed in with that, but that was like actually honest advice. Like you need to drop some weight. I'm not even fucking around.
Be rather well off and everybody's rich and has money. Well, and until you start fighting lawsuits over and over and the bills start piling up, you know,
well, he ain't wrong about that. That's why he defamed me last night. But like, I ain't so I'm like, fuck, I got enough shit going on out west. You know, say whatever. He's talking about FBI. Nigga, first off, there's nothing to report. Second off, this is internet shit. I'm gonna report you to the FBI. I'm gonna do okay. All right. Okay. I'm sure it'll be all over that.
It adds up, man.
There's no crime anyway. But like,
trust me, trust me. I know. So,
and I suppose the real question is, who's hotter, Zia or Scarlett?
I don't even know.
Comfortable. I mean, she's a very, very that Matt Mead put hands on.
I don't care. I don't care. Put hands on her. Who gives a fuck?
I guess
I heard you put hands on people too, Nick. That's what I've heard. So I don't think you really want to take it there, actually. Break the law. Don't make me play it, bro.
Aaron has never posted a picture of his children online until the day mine were taken away.
Which is hilarious. Listen to what he said. He's bitter. He just said Aaron never posted a picture of his kids online until the day mine were taken away. Well, that's a fucking troll right there. Like, I gotta say, he fucking broke your balls, didn't he? Like, he never even thought about it until the day they took yours out of your fucking house. Well, I mean, that's cold-blooded. That's hardcore. That's honestly maybe even above Ralph Amel status. Like, that's like Ralph Amel Max. Ralph Amel methylene blue. Like, I
should tell you everything you need to know about Aaron and his children.
It's fucking hilarious. I didn't know that. He never posted a picture of his kids online until they took yours away? Fuck. Why is he talking about the dude? This HRO is going to get granted, dude. He keeps talking about M-Hole all the time. And I'm starting to think M-Hole's probably going to win this. We'll see. But
you would hope so.
M-Hole doesn't, as far as I can tell, has not been talking about him. So he's making all, and he's the lawyer.
Nick, talking about like ending friendships, whatever. What's the status of your relationship with one Ethan Raphael?
Raphael. Well, I'll be damned. I have never been called Ethan Raphael, but I kind of like it. Raphael? Where's that? Can these people read? What kind of crew is this, chat? Seriously. Ethan Raphael? Who are these morons? It's because you're Mexican? I guess, but like, it sounds cool. Yeah, I like it. I mean, I'll prefer Ralph, but like, I mean, it's kind of funny, but I think he said it not as a joke, but just as retardation.
As he's known. Ask.
Is it a joke? Let me see. Let me rewatch. If it's a joke, okay, it's funny. If it's not, it's still funny, but it's just retarded.
Talking about like ending friendships, whatever. What's the status of your relationship with one Ethan Raphael, as he's known, resident of Merida, Mexico?
You know,
is that what? Oh, because I'm in Mexico. And notice how they're, oh, man, this is just a crew of bums.
Ralph has his demons to fight, and he should fight them. Status of whatever is, you try and give someone a bunch of opportunities, and try and
that was me with you, but
and give grace where you can. Plenty of people have given grace to me for things that I did and things that where just I wasn't a good friend. Like I didn't even necessarily do anything except maybe not stay in contact, not return messages because I was busy, being selfish. So like people have done that for me. Tried to do that with Ralph, hoping that he would be past some of his issues. But
I never not returned it. Whatever.
He's got his shit to fight, and he'll do it.
He's kind of shit to fight.
Done that for me. Tried to do that with Ralph.
No, wait. Earlier, I thought I couldn't fight. I thought I was bad at that.
He would be past some of his issues, but he's got his shit to fight, and he'll do it. He's lashing out at me right now, but what do you do? That's that. I've pretty much given my last good grace though, and I just hope to move on from Ralph. Like as gay as that sounds, it's like I hope to move.
Well, you often sound gay. I can tell
on from him. But like, there's just nothing. There's nothing left there to preserve, and there's no value in it.
I'd agree with that.
As someone that's completely out of the loop, who the fuck is Ethan Ralph?
Who the fuck are you?
That's the big problem for him.
Dude, you're on a show called Boozy Hughesies. That's a big problem for me. I am worldwide famous. Infamous is the term I prefer. Boozy Hughesy is not. And so I'm like, it doesn't make me upset. It's just perplexing. Like, who's Ethan Ralph? Who the fuck are you? I'm an fucking institution. Who the fuck are you? Who are these Dabbleverse freaks? Like, that's his problem? Nick, your problem. Oh, boy.
Is he somebody that I should know about, or am I?
Well, you might know about me here pretty soon, motherfucker.
A well-known streamer, the owner and proprietor of the Kill Stream, who now says that he has, incriminating is the wrong word, but salacious audio of Nick that now he is threatening to release.
That's not. I don't know that I actually said that quite like that, but
of course, he just had this content that he just randomly had and kept in the file. It just so happens now that he's had a problem with Nick.
Short, angry pig of a man with a dwindling audience, living down in Mexico.
Dude, you're nobody.
Screaming at clouds. That's Ethan Ralph right now.
Bro, I slept the taste out of your mouth. Are you serious? Like, these people are crazy. My last good grace. Wow, what a nice guy. Yeah. Well, there's no more good grace from me either. Shooting Star says, I have no idea who any of these folks are except Nick. And the only reason I know Nick is because of Ralph. There's a lot of people like that. Where's this guy's audience? This is honestly, like I said, that doesn't even make me angry. That just means this guy's a retard. The one the bottom left obviously has a problem, needs to get sorted. But it doesn't make me angry. It just makes me think you're stupid. That's his problem. Nick, your problem is everybody knows M. Holt busted in your wife. Apparently did a good job because she fell in love with him. And you whored her out for a long time to him. And she fell in love with him. And you used to be the #1 YouTuber. And now you're on Boozy Hughesies. And it's my problem. Motherfuckers know who I am. I don't ever worry about that. Matter of fact, sometimes I wish not as many people did know who I was. But that's my problem? That's my problem? It's not anger. It's just befuddlement. Everyone knows Nick. People know Nick. That's true. He does have some name ID. But I would argue my career is in a much better place. That wasn't a joke. And who knows where it goes with the project that we're working on. You know, might pan out, might not. They gave me a nice check. Actually, cash. But what's he going to talk about for the rest of his days? Aaron M. Holt fucking his wife. Okay, well, if that's what you want to do. Now, your problem is you're on a show called Boozy Hughesies.
It's a shame because, you know, when Ralph is on and he's positive and he's covering things, he has pretty interesting takes. He can be higher energy and have really good charisma. He books guests that are so far out of his league, and he always has. It's a talent of his to network. And if he focused on that stuff, he could put together a really good show like he used to. Instead, he gets wrapped up in these stupid fights, which don't do him any good. They just routinely, he is dwindling from it. So it's a.
I'm dwindling. Actually, people been wanting me to go in on you for a long time, bro. And I didn't, just out of loyalty. I know that's a foreign concept for you. But do you know, most of my audience does not like Nick Rekieta. And a lot of them don't like Mersh either. And so they've been waiting for me to open up a can on you for a long time. And I didn't. So, yeah, that is his league. He's in the right league right now. And it's sad.
I know who you're talking about now. I remember when she was on the Chrissy Mayer stream, and for no reason at all, he randomly decided to take offense that
and I cut one of the all-time greatest promos ever on my show right after that. Yeah, it was called Entertainment. This is a panel of fucking.
Mayer mentioned this moment. It's like don't be a silly goose, if you don't mind me saying that stuff, guys.
A silly goose? Is that something you can't say on YouTube?
Like don't try to start a fight.
Why not?
But we did get this little super.
Go on, mate.
Dude, this is the most boring. I could sit here and, you know, it's mostly been me talking today. I don't know. You be the judge, but I would say this is a much more entertaining program. These guys take themselves very seriously. What even is this shit? That's what I don't get. This is supposed to be comedy, really, and political analysis, media analysis, interviews, stuff like that too. But like, I don't know what this is. But a lot of people, Nady Bakes in the chat, I called him right after the show. I'll tell this on air because he's a friend of mine, IRL. And I said, man, I feel bad about not about the show. I thought it was good, the Fuck Merch Festival, but I felt bad about putting the knife in. And he said, I hope you don't mind me quoting you. He said, I never liked Nick Rekieta. I felt like he always big leagued you, and he always treated you like a. Now he didn't use the N-word, by the way, but that's what he meant. And he said, I never liked that guy. And even while I defended this guy for a year and a half longer, and there were chatter after chatter saying, I don't like Nick Rekieta. Okay, Ralph, I know you're sticking by your guy, but like, I don't like him. Time after time, they were waiting for this. And I told a colleague and they said, is it all just for content? No, it's not actually. If it was, I would have done that a long ass fucking time ago. Because I already knew 80+% of my chat don't like this motherfucker. So if it's all about content, I would have done that a long, long fucking time ago. It's not. And I respect that colleague, by the way. I was like, you don't really know. Like, my audience doesn't give a fuck about Rekieta. I don't know about yours, but like, they were wanting me to open up on this fuck for a long time. Tosh just said it right there. Ralph's biggest flaw is being too loyal. Nick's biggest flaw is being too fake. I agree with that. And somebody else, they quoted me earlier. I think it was on the Stallion clip. I saw it in the comments. I haven't, it was my own clip, but where's the quote? Sometimes it takes me a while to see the light, but when I see it, I bask in it. Could you imagine Nick Rekieta come? That was off the cuff. Could you imagine him coming up with a line like that off the cuff? Or any of these other losers? Of course not. And I'm not tooting my own horn. I just know I'm good at this. That's off the cuff. It's Stallion, right? I'll have to ask. Maybe I'll ask the toe who's giving me orders. He's not, by the way. Never did. But I think he says Stallion, though. It's Stallion. I always want to say Stalin. But there's two L's, so it has to be Stallion. But I do appreciate them clipping me the last couple days. And it's because I'm talking about Rekieta. I don't know why, but like... I just don't. I guess I'm never going to get it. Just never going to get it.